Incompetence Pod.
Welcome to the Perpetual Incompetence Podcast, a journey in competitive self-improvement.
Join us as the three of us endeavor to improve our lives by competing in a series of low-stakes challenges.
In each episode, we will come up with a challenge and then define the rules or metrics for victory.
We'll have 2 weeks to do our best, and at the end, one of us will be crowned victor. Hi, I'm Mike Melodious Warbler Collins, the Satisfinder, aka Lil Seeky Boy.
Hello, I'm the Dashing Brogue, Dan Collins, the Wee Treater.
And I'm Travis Brabant, the Planet Pusher, Postal Pile Driver, and bearer of the Incompetent Cup of Iridescent Splendor. We each have one idea for a challenge for us to attempt the next 2 weeks. After we've all presented, we'll decide whose idea is the best. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So now that all of the snow is sort of starting to melt away since it's spring, we discover all of the garbage that was thrown into the snow or plowed into the snow, and there's a lot of garbage on the ground. And what I think we should do is help our communities and ourselves and humanity and the planet Earth by picking up some of that litter.
Yeah,
I like that.
And
this is a good one that I've had on my list for a while. This is a real good challenge.
Yeah, I think I suggested it a while ago, and you guys didn't want to do it because you said it would take too much time. But I'm bringing it up.
I remember
again.
you were talking about you were like gonna organize like search parties and whatever. Like you were gonna like
but
engage a whole crew of people.
But in the easy metric for this one, I think weight of litter, like how much you collect, and you just weigh it or something, I guess, or how much you get. Yeah.
All right, I've got a question. If I organize a cleaning party of, say, like my children and their friends to go clean up something like a park, side of a highway, do I get to count the weight, the cumulative weight of everybody that assisted?
I think if you organize it, then that's on you, and you do get to count it. That's how I feel about that.
Okay. All right. I like that.
Yeah, this is a good one. Pretty clean and simple. I have no complaints with it. Good job, Dan.
All right. Yeah.
I'll go. Right. Moving right along. All right, I'll go next. So I know that the podcast format is not necessarily a visual medium, and this is something that we've kind of tried to avoid. However, a skill that I've wanted to spend time to develop has been drawing, like sketching with pencils, and just like doing art stuff. I was thinking the sketching with pencils is the most approachable. But I basically my idea is that we try to learn how to draw or paint or whatever your medium is. I would say like a physical medium. And and basically what we should do is we'll all try and draw like a self-portrait maybe of day one, and then see how much we improve, or draw a picture of something and then do it again at the end of 2 weeks and see who did the best. And I know it's kind of hard to get that across in a podcast. However, if we do our best to describe it like an art critic, I think it would be pretty entertaining.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right, I will say this challenge is very close to what I was going to suggest. Mine was going to be make the best self-portrait, and you can decide on what medium you do. I'll go with the backup one, but I will say for myself, I have oodles and oodles of opportunity for improvement in the visual arts game.
Yeah,
I'm real bad at art.
That's a question though, because like, is it how much we improved or who did the best?
I think that's a good question. I
Like,
think
should
we're
we
all
do
probably
like one, because it does take a little while to do an art, you know.
Yeah, you can tell you're not an expert. How long does it take to do an art? Like 5-10 minutes. Now, well, I think maybe we could probably just go with the best one, because I feel like we're all probably at a fairly similar starting point. That is, none of us do it ever, except for when we do a podcast about it.
I mean, I used to do a lot of drawing. I haven't really done it in a long time, though.
I think maybe we should narrow our scope a little bit. And that in the poetry episode, we made a poem about a thing. Maybe for visual mediums, we should like do the best oil painting or best like Bob Ross style scene painting or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good way to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I agree. Well, I mean, we said self-portrait, but I feel like that's probably one of the hardest ones to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you go the Picasso or the avant-garde, or there's room to play there, but yeah. I like the idea of doing a visual one. We haven't done really any of those.
I feel like before we are allowed to do abstract art, we need to nail down the fundamentals a little bit. So, but I had a thought, like maybe we could do the best portrait of a small household mammal, and then obviously
sure,
I have cats, or even a pet. Just say a pet, and then you could do a fish or a cat, dog, whatever. Doesn't have to be yours. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Okay.
Do a visual art of a certain thing. We can hash out the specifics.
Yeah, if we pick it, we can figure it out.
So that's so that's mine.
Okay, Mike stole mine, so I'm going with my backup. We all indulge too much in a certain thing, and while it's sort of good for us, it's maybe not that. Maybe we enjoy it a little bit too much, and it becomes a detriment to us. I think, and I'm not excited about this, but I think we should go without caffeine for 2 weeks.
You monster!
If we hold to let discomfort be your guide, is like one of the best challenges we could possibly do. I'm really not excited about it. We'll have to do it at some point, but I can take a lot of caffeine.
We don't have to do anything. Yeah, I really
don't have to do this podcast, Travis.
This is the breaking point.
This is my line.
This is the hill I'll die on.
I can't function.
I mean
that's what everyone says, but
what are you supposed to do in the morning? Not drink coffee?
There's decaf. Tea
that still has caffeine in it.
It does.
Well, there's herbal teas that don't have caffeine.
That's true. Yeah. My wife drinks a lot of tea. She doesn't drink coffee, and I know she'd be just stoked if I were to join her in the tea consumption.
I hate that idea.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Dan. I don't like it either.
I hate it. I hate it so much that I think we should probably do it.
No, wait a minute. I don't like this trend. That's that I don't know. I might like punch somebody at work in the morning or something.
Yeah. I mean, the reasons to reduce your intake of caffeine are plentiful. Apparently, you're not supposed to have too much of it. It doesn't hurt you in small doses. Like, having caffeine is not bad for you. That's what the current science says. So it's not like,
so why fight it?
Cutting it out. Well, the benefit we would get would be to kind of reset our caffeine levels so that we can get a new baseline, lower our baseline basically, so that when we're getting tired, we can just drink a cup of coffee and it'll have the same effect that like an energy drink does now or something. Yeah. Like basically we lower our tolerance so that we can raise it again inevitably. But
I did have, I think, within the first hour or two of work, I had 5 cups of coffee. I don't know if that's high, but I feel like it is, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I bring a pot of coffee to work with me every day.
And you bring home an empty pot of coffee?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, I mean, I usually go through like half a pot of coffee in the morning.
Yeah. I drink a lot of coffee. I think all of us together drink like a high amount of coffee, that more than normal humans. So, this reminds me of a story. When I was in Afghanistan, I was getting ready to go on a flight, and the guy who was working as my aerial observer, we were in the chow hall getting some food together, and he's one of these guys who, like, he's in like perfect physical condition, just worked out every single day and never ate anything that was bad for him ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in there and I was eating like we got these like post cereal bowls that you like rip the top off and pour like the rehydrated milk in, because that's the only thing you have out there. And that was the only food available to us. And I was like, man, you got to eat, because the other guy wasn't eating anything. He's like, no, I'm not eating cereal. And I'm like, why? And he's like, I don't know, just because I ate a lot of cereal, so I'm gonna not eat cereal now. And it just blew my mind. But I think there's value in just denying yourself something that is, it's like a crutch or a what's the word?
Addiction
Or a habit, whatever it is, just to break it. I'm reminded of like the Screenicus one, which we all hated, but I think was
I didn't
good
mind
for
it,
us.
but I'm still doing it.
So
okay,
yeah.
But another thing to consider with this, would it be what would we have to bring at the end, and how do we win this one?
Lowest amount of caffeine intaked, imbibed.
Yeah. If
we all get 0, then we have to get creative. But I don't know. There's caffeine in dark chocolate. There's a trace amount of caffeine
that's the only
in
chocolate I have in
decaf.
the house. I never buy chocolate. And Lindsay's the only one that gets it. She likes that dark chocolate stuff, so that's the only thing I ever eat.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Okay, well, let's pick one, and let's not pick that one.
Says the guy that made us talk in an Irish accent.
You liked it.
I liked it a little bit.
All right. These are all good. I could do any of them.
What was yours again, Travis?
We just
the
talked
one
about
that we just
caffeine.
Talked about. Oh, what was yours, Dan?
Litter.
That's right. And mine was art. I don't know. I'm rather fond of mine. Should we do if you can't pick your own, pick that thing? I guess
But you just said you were going to pick your own.
Well, I said I like mine better than your guys's, but if I'm not picking mine, then I think
mine.
I think I'm gonna pick Travis's just because it sounds awful.
Dan, I think you need to listen to your heart. That fear that you're feeling. You want to embrace fear? That's it right there. Like, life without coffee.
It's like the only joy I have in the morning. I'll just go to work and just be angry all day.
Well, now you can drink some non-caffeinated dishwater.
Oh my gosh.
And tea.
I mean,
all right, Dan, I'm hearing that you would pick Mike's if you couldn't pick your own.
I would pick Mike's. Yes, I would pick Mike's.
Let's see. Both yours would require a significant time investment, so there's no savings there.
In fact, the coffee one would free up some time. Really, don't have to make it. You know what's gonna happen if we do that one? I'm gonna like stand up, like at work because I'm working at home now. I'll get up, I'll walk into the kitchen, I'll sit there and stare at my coffee maker, and then have a little sad realization, and that's going to happen like 6 times every day.
I mean, you could just get decaf. That's the thing you can do.
Decaf has caffeine.
It's reduced caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean trace amounts. It's like 2% regular caffeine. If we were to do that challenge, I would drink some decaf. There's no way. If I had to choose between you two, it's pretty tempting either way. I gotta think about it. They're so close together in my brain.
Well, what are you gonna pick?
Don't rush him, Dan. Just be just be quiet. Just be quiet.
My non-caffeinated brain is slow. I would probably pick. I think Dan's.
Well, okay.
We're at an impasse again.
Yeah, I mean, well then I guess I pick Mike's. I'm genuinely indifferent between the two. If it'll help us make a decision, I will go with Mike's.
Okay. All right. I think you're safe if we're gonna do this one. All right.
For now,
yeah. I do think we need to do that one, though. I think it needs to happen.
Touched a nerve.
We can just forget that it was ever mentioned.
Okay. So, if we're gonna do the art one, we're doing the art one. We're doing the art one. We're doing it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
Yep. So we're just gonna go with the best picture of a small animal. Do you guys like that? Like little creatures?
If that's what you like.
I do.
Are we picking a medium here?
No, I think we can do whatever medium you want. It has to be a physical medium, though.
It can't be digital.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it has to be physical. So like you could paint, you could sketch, you could do what is it, sand art, or
okay,
maybe
finger
painting. Yeah, crayons,
collage,
whatever moves
paper
you.
mache,
whatever the muse says.
What about
whatever best suits the image in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saying physical medium, and that's what we're leaving it at.
Yep.
Okay.
Seashells.
Wonderful.
Okay, so what do you guys think of the prompt, or should we make it looser, like the best picture of inner strength?
Let's not say best. Let's do the most majestic.
How about
the most inspiring,
the most moving image?
There you go.
I kind of like what was it? What did I just say? It was good. Of inner strength. To me, that's something worth drawing. Right?
Oh, I kind of like the small animal one.
Okay, we could do that too.
I was gonna do a cheesecake.
Yeah. That's what
the most moving image demonstrating inner strength featuring a small animal.
Whoa,
that's good.
Okay,
yeah, I'm down.
I gotta write that down. I'm gonna forget that.
It's good to give yourself constraints.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So the most moving image featuring, was it inner strength?
Yes, or demonstrating inner strength.
Demonstrating inner strength featuring a small animal.
Yes.
I hope you're writing that down because I'm going to need that read back to me.
Putting it in Discord.
All right.
Okay. So all right, let's pick up. So we have a metric then, right? We're just going. We're good there. We have the challenge.
The best art.
Yes. And then so we need a honorific for this. How about the
artistic animist?
The artsy farter. Artsy farts. The conduit of the muse.
Oh.
The muse master.
The muster. The illustrated man.
Billy Brushstrokes.
It's pretty good.
It's kind of
Can we tie it in some way to the small animals that will be featured?
Oh. The mouse muse.
Puppy painter. The palette person.
The pet paletter.
Mr. Captain Palette. Captain Palette.
Artistry, fartistry. Kind of like that. Artsy fartsy is a funny term.
It is a funny term.
Not necessarily one that I want to earn and attach to my name, though.
The farting artist. There's a lot of words to choose from on this. I feel like I'm overwhelmed with combinations of words that mean things. You know what I mean? The brush boy. Collage.
The abstract animist.
Animist. What's animist mean?
Well, I'm choosing to interpret it as somebody who gives life to creatures in the way that we'd be painting them.
The what's it? When you kind of bring to fruition, you create, like when something kind of coalesces into something, and you would be the one that the coalescence of the muse.
Jeez.
The enigmatic expressionist.
The crafty camper.
Yeah, maybe we're going too highbrow. Maybe we need to back up a couple steps.
Yeah.
I like brush boy.
The art doer.
The good painter, the good drawer, the good arter, the real good arter.
The real good arter.
What was our criteria, Dan?
It's in Discord.
Most moving
image featuring inner strength, featuring a small animal.
No, it was the most moving image.
Embodying.
No, there's a better word that we used.
Yeah, I mean, there's such an abundance of words to use, and we're coming up like utterly short.
Yeah. The virtuoso of paint. Man, what was one of the first ones we said? Maybe we should
brush boy.
You know, I'm not
arty farter. The striking art. Man.
The composer.
Maybe we do like
heartrending composer.
How about we just kind of make a little sentence like me do art good? So like Dan Collins, me do art good.
Dan, me do art good Collins. What about some sort of play on artistic words? Instead of art deco, like art reco or something stupid like that.
I see where you're going.
Kind of the twisting, pretentious art phrases.
Yeah.
Like what's art phrases? Cubism,
expressionist,
the electric expressionist,
the color theorist,
dramatic aesthetic,
the avant-garde.
Ooh, avant-garde is good. How about avant-garde?
I was saying the avant-gardener, but we're not gardening.
No, how about the impression, like the impression. What am I trying to do? Like impressive, but like impress.
What about
shit? No, that's nothing.
Impression.
Perspective. Photorealism. I googled fancy art terms. Symbolism.
I like the word aesthetic.
We already had one that had aesthetic, didn't we?
I don't think so.
Alla prima.
Profound portraitist. Portrait, canvas, frame,
brush, paint.
So there's a term called alla prima, which means at first attempt, where it's basically you do it all in one go and take whatever you get, and you don't let the paint dry. That's good. That's a good word. So there you go.
The alla prima.
I don't know. I take it back. That's stupid.
The friendly framer, the canvas crayoner.
How about Van Gogh? Van got it, like Van Gogh.
And Van Went.
Van Went.
Van Went. Vincent Van Went. You know, I think his name is actually pronounced Guff, not Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I think you're onto something though. Can we make in the same vein of
Leonardo
Scooby-Doo,
the Cinchi, like it's a cinch.
that's pretty good.
this is the right direction.
I didn't. Picasso.
Picatso.
Mikasso. No.
I was saying
What was that, Dan?
Picatso because it's the cats.
I was trying to think of something for Rembrandt, but I couldn't think of anything funny, so I didn't say anything.
Nothing for Picatso.
What's another word? Picatso.
Oh, because the cat.
Picatso.
Because it's a
Small
small
animals.
animal. Okay. I like this.
Picatso.
Salvador.
No, you guys don't need to humor me. It's fine.
No, actually, that's my favorite one so far because we're gonna do little animals. Picatso.
How about Dandy Warhol? Wait, that's a band. Never mind.
Man, I don't know that many artists.
Andy War. Hold up. That's a good painting. No.
Articus.
Well, that's actually really close.
If ever for a time.
That almost kind of works. Yeah.
Articus.
But that
We
doesn't
could do fine Articus.
Can we yes. Spare Articus. Aesthetic Articus.
So there's Jackson Pollock, Salvador Dali, Pablo Picasso. I'm still
Pablo
happy with
Picatso.
Picatso.
Pablo Picatso.
That's what Travis said like 5 years ago, Mike.
I am a big fan of that.
I don't know that we need Pablo. I think Picatso.
Picatso's really good. Can we just do Picatso?
I don't know. I'm
on board.
I'm not sold.
It's like Picasso, but you put cat in the middle. Cat in the middle. Articus.
I'm not sold on Picatso. There's so many artists out there. How about like, I don't know. Who's the guy? What's that one guy who did that one painting?
She's gonna need to do more specific.
Yeah, that guy.
You know.
He did that ceiling, that famous ceiling that everyone always talks about.
It was
really
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo high, because it's like we're high instead of low, right? Because we're doing good.
I don't know, man. I don't think we're gonna do better than Picatso.
Okay.
Yeah, Picatso.
Well, I'll say Picatso is fine. We'll do Picatso. Okay.
I mean, we can't stop there. We can't like have a resigned. Okay, that's fine. I guess.
I'm excited about Picatso.
I'm not excited about Picatso. I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't get my blood flowing. Cats and Pollock, on the other hand. How about Cats and Doglock? Nah, that doesn't. That's
Bob Ross. Can we use him somehow?
Just Bob Ross.
Yeah, just Bob Ross. Just Bob Ross.
How about Dog Ross?
Dog Ross is okay.
Ah, man, that's not good. I think let's just go with Picatso. Come on, guys. Picatso.
I want Dan to be more excited about it. I don't want to like settle for.
I'll let Dan not be excited about it if he comes up with something better than Picatso.
I'm trying real hard.
And you're not doing it because there isn't anything better. Doglo Picatso.
I'm trying real hard.
We need to pick one, you guys. It's getting kind of long.
Labrador Dolly. We can do Picatso.
All right, it's Picatso. For crying out.
Yeah. We might die of old age.
All right. It's
okay. Picatso. Labrador Dolly is pretty good, though.
All right.
It is good.
It's good, but it's not good enough. Yeah. Okay. Just moving right along.
Picatso. We're doing Picatso.
We're doing Picatso.
Right.
Okay.
And we're all excited about it.
Man, that's the best one I think we've ever come up with.
That's right.
So good.
If one of us doesn't hate it, then it's not a good name, right? Because then, yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, let's talk forecast. Who I think I could actually do well. I'm gonna bet on myself.
I actually have a plan already, and I'm feeling real good about it.
I already own a sketchbook and fancy pencils.
I got paints. I paint Warhammer figurines, baby. I got hot glue. I can do anything.
I'm gonna do really terribly in this, probably.
Come on, Travis.
But I'm gonna try.
I believe in you.
We were talking about this when we met up last weekend. I do not possess the spatial brain to lay out how things should look. I can critique when the thing has been put onto paper already. It's like, oh, this would look better if it were like this. But I'm very bad at imagining shapes and placement, and I don't know. I'm hoping to improve, I'll say.
Hey, that's you know what? We got the podcast is about self-improvement, so I think this is perfect for you. Yeah.
All right, I'm excited, guys. So. All right, so we have our challenge, we have our metric, we have our honorific. Let's do this.
Hello. Thanks for listening, guys. This is Dan. I'm just checking in here. We're currently putting together our masterpieces, and I've seen them. They're great. You're gonna love them. Make sure to, if you're curious, we try to describe them as best as we can, but if you want to see what they actually look like, they are in the show notes, which usually. I know in at least Spotify, it's just right in the episode. You just have to, don't do it while you're driving, but it's just right below the episode, in the notes of the show. So, if you're enjoying the show, let a friend know about it. And that's about all I got to say. Thanks for listening. Love you. Let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to the Perpetual Incompetence podcast. As a reminder, we recorded the first part of the podcast 2 weeks ago, and since then, we've been working on creating the most moving art that we could. Let's start by talking through our approaches to this challenge. How did you guys tackle this?
Poorly, I think. So my approach was to watch, I think, 3 YouTube videos about how to sketch, and then proceed to sketch a couple things, and then feel bad for not doing as much sketching as possible, and then I kind of finished up with a fast burst of sketching. That was my whole jam. Although I will say, so I a lot of where I felt like I started making some real progress is I took my oldest son, to this pizza joint in town, Dino's Pizza, and they have this thing on the tables where it's just paper on the table, and then they give you crayons and you can just scribble on it. And I did some work while we were eating pizza.
Nice.
Is that what your final result was the crayon drawing?
No, but it is a lot of these skills were developed while I was drawing with crayons. I did a series of animals that were doing some I kind of took some notes on what they were doing. So I was trying to make, what could I make these animals do that would be, demonstrating inner strength. So I had one that was a scene with 2 squirrels. It was a male squirrel holding, I assume his mate's hand while she's about to give birth. I figured, giving birth is a very inner strength thing to do.
Yeah.
And also supporting your partner during that. It's a very, it's a good thing to do. I also had this is actually my wife gave me this idea, and I brought it to fruition. And I did not take pictures of any of these because they weren't very good, but they were something. But anyway, so I had it was a squirrel who was apologizing to a bird for stealing his nut, and then the bird was expressing forgiveness to the squirrel, which I think does demonstrate inner strength. Yeah. And then it turned into just a series of small animals, a lot of ducks and birds and squirrels that were just had determined looks on their faces, very cartoony.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a struggle. Like, how do I depict inner strength in art with my limited art skills? So that
Yes.
was a real challenge. I had to get pretty intellectual about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I had like I had while we were coming up with the idea, I had an idea in my mind and I stuck to it and I changed a little bit of it, but I basically did exactly what I came up with when we recorded the first half.
Excellent.
nice.
Like
Good job, man.
it changed very little. I added a little bit to it, I guess, but that's about it.
Sometimes the right idea is the first one.
Yeah. I'm pretty
So we'll
Yeah.
happy with
see.
it.
Yeah, as far as approaches go, it turns out that art is both like hard and time consuming and can be expensive.
Yes.
We can talk about our chosen mediums, but I just like the first day or two of this challenge, I like YouTubed like art medium or like art styles or whatever,
Hmm.
and found that the pastels, the chalk kind of pastel things,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that looks like something a child could do and achieve decent results. So that's for me. So
Okay.
then we went to Hobby Lobby and spent like $100 on pastels and the pastel paper and stuff.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Which I will not do that purchase justice, but the girls like doing art with pastels and stuff too, so it'll go to good use even after I never pick them up again because I'm terrible at it. But
That's
then
pretty good.
I would like pick up my newly purchased materials and like watch a YouTube video of like someone like here's a basic scene using pastels, and I would like try to do like exactly what they did, and as most art tutorials go, it never looked as good or as like um I don't know, efficient's the wrong word to use for art, but they just like a flick of a wrist and they've got like this like seamlessly blended cloud scene or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
turns out people on YouTube who are doing art are very good at it.
I was going to approach my our sister, me and Dan's sister, Diana, who's a very accomplished artist. She's very good, and get some advice. But I didn't. So Di, if you're listening, it did go through my mind. I know you'd be wondering. I don't know
I
if
had
you
a
listen to this.
similar
Probably not.
thought. One of Holly's sister-in-law is an artist also, a very good one. We have some of her like original paintings that are scattered about her house. I was like,
Mhm.
I should ask her for a lesson. And then like she has, a kid and we have kids, and it didn't come together. Probably would have been helpful, but it just didn't work out. And so I depended on YouTube. Did
Good
you guys
old
do
YouTube.
any like YouTube tutorializing, or did you just like let the
I
muse speak through you?
this was fully Dan, my thing here. I actually did not I made a sculpture.
Oh,
That's pretty
Um
cool.
and I in high school I had the art class that we did wire sculptures, so you made things out of wire.
sure.
Um, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought I did pretty good at it. So that was it's actually something I've wanted to start doing again a little bit, just like make some wire sculptures.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Oh,
I'm genuinely curious to see what yours is now.
I'm pretty
that's
happy with it.
That's a
so
cool medium.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty, like, you can be super minimal with it. Like, you can just like do the profile of like somebody's face and like it's just like a wire that's sort of bent, or you can like full on like make like the body of a person and like fully you can it's very flexible.
Sure.
Yeah, that's cool. I for the record, I went with just a pencil sketch. I had actually already bought all the art supplies because I had big plans of learning to art good. Maybe like 6 months ago. So I bought like like a pencils. I got a range of pencils and like that weird Play-Doh eraser thing, and then yeah, it was like a little kit, and it worked pretty good. I actually played with all the pencils to see what the difference. There is a difference,
Hmm.
which I was not sure of before. So I actually used more than one type of pencil because they were
Fancy.
better. Yeah, I know that was something I mentioned in the one of the 3 videos that I watched. And actually, I'm quite happy with mine how mine turned out. Actually, I had done some learning on that, or I watched some videos on how to draw, and I had drawn a sphere in the so I bought this sketchbook like 6 months ago, and I drew a sphere in it with my pencils, and that is the only thing that's been in there until recently.
Just this one sphere. Like, did you do the shadow and everything
I
though?
you know I did, Dan. So but anyway, that's my thing. So was there anything you guys noticed about this besides art is hard? Well, actually, you know what I said was, since I brought it up, I'm going to answer my own question. Something I noticed. The I actually got into kind of a nice little flow state as I was sketching this. I admittedly I didn't go like straight out of my own mind. I found some pictures online and kind of mushed them together that like here's a little animal that's kind of roughly in the pose I want, and then I get tweaked it a little bit, and then and I put some background and things like that, and I just kind of copied it and that sort of thing. That was sort of how I did it. But I really once I got going, I was really enjoying it, and I was quite happy with the results. So
Nice.
yeah.
I one thing that I noticed beside what we've already talked about is, and you guys might not have experienced this because it sounds like, sculpture and your pencil drawings maybe didn't have a lot of color input.
No.
I would be like watching tutorials and they would be, painting a snowy scene or something like that. And it would be like on white paper, obviously, and then they'd just be like kind of smattering some color to like some grays or whatever to illustrate or highlight the snow. And then the guy would be like, "Okay, and now we're gonna grab some purple and put that on top of the snow." And I'm like, "Purple? I've never seen purple snow in my life."
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
And then they put it on there, and it'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it does look better. Why does that look better?" Like it makes no sense why like purple like it's this challenge has drawn my attention to color in like the real world,
Sure.
and that like while driving to work I was like, those trees aren't just brown, they're green and brown and black and stuff. Like when
Yeah.
like when you try to like illustrate the colors, I mean, I guess to quote Pocahontas, when you try to paint with all the colors of the wind, you start to
Mm-hmm.
notice them more often.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So
That's
that's
actually
an
I think about
impact.
that movie a lot.
I've noticed that when we've done some pixel art for our video game quite a bit, and there's a lot of kind of like subtle nuance you can use with just changes in color that make a big difference. I know to somebody who does art and is listening to us is like, these guys are morons.
Well, yeah, I
This
mean,
they,
Yeah.
there's people who have like degrees in color theory. Like
Yeah.
it's
but
it's like a very deep
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But anyway, for me, it was interesting to, come across and think about, and, the think about shading. That was something that I hadn't put a ton of thought into before, but yeah,
That's why I
that's
like
it.
sculptures is because they do all the shading already by themselves.
That's true.
This is true. Yeah. Uh, were there any challenges you guys ran across?
My lack of skills.
Hmm.
I used some super glue. Um and super glue the things that I was trying to super glue. Apparently, the chemicals react
Mhm.
to certain different materials, and I almost started a fire on
No.
one thing, and the other thing was uh, trying kept melting because of the super glue. So that was a big challenge I had. Honestly, the biggest challenge was to just find. I've been so busy the last couple of weeks. I was just trying to find some time to sit down and do art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I agree. That was definitely my biggest challenge, but I got there in the end. I did art, and that was what we set out to do. So
I did have a challenge specific to my medium where these pastels, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but they're basically just like fancy chalk sticks.
yes.
They bind and they mix a little bit better than chalk, but one thing is that you generally put your hand on paper when you're writing on it, and I would like set my hand down a little bit, and then it would like smear the chalk that was already on the paper.
Hmm.
So it was a real struggle to try to like continue adding layers to things without like messing up the other layers that are already put on there. So apparently, the smart people will like lay down wax paper over things so that they can continue drawing without impacting the stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't smart until I eventually learned from my mistakes.
This one hasn't been. I would say this. I don't even know if I'd call this a challenge. I actually just really enjoyed this one a lot. I had a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and I have like a thing now that I kind of like the way it looks. So it's like I have a product,
Hmm.
and I'm like
Hmm.
I don't know. I really enjoyed this one. I guess it wasn't much of a challenge. It was more of just like a fun activity.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the impetus of this podcast is that not everything has to be like like a race challenge, but we did compete to create art, and it just happened to be something that was sort of enjoyable to do. So I
Yeah.
don't think that this was a failure as a challenge. I think that there was some challenge involved. It just happened to be something that wasn't that painful to do.
Yeah. I guess they don't all have to suck.
Yeah,
We don't have to torture ourselves every time. That's a good
No.
yeah.
point.
Yeah. I agree. I enjoyed this one. Like when I had the time and I sat down and did it, this is pleasing, pleasurable thing to do. So,
Art's fun, guys.
hey, it's real fun.
It is. I will say I'm not amazing at it, but I do think that like given practice, it's something that I could improve at. It'll just comes down to time and practice and stuff,
Yeah.
which is heartening. It's nice to Mike, we've talked in the past about it's nice having hobbies that can scale essentially infinitely,
Yeah.
so that you're never done improving. So like it just goes on and on, which sounds like it would be a bad thing, but there's always something new to discover, new tricks or whatever.
Yeah.
So I could see that being cool.
Indeed. Should we get into it?
Yes.
Who wants to display their piece first?
I can. Let me put it in Discord.
Now, before you put it out there, do you want to describe it to us? Like what?
Yes, I do.
Well, I no, okay, I disagree. I think what we should do is you should show it and then we should critique it and then you should explain it.
Okay.
That's how
Okay.
real art people do it.
All right. All right. No.
And when you critique somebody's art, you don't say if you like it or you dislike it, you talk about it. That's how you do it.
Okay.
Very
I
important.
didn't brush up on my art critiquing skills. So. All right, here it comes.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. I like
So
I like the juxtaposition of the snow and the what is this forest?
Hmm.
so what I'm seeing is a road, a paved road with a little turtle. Okay.
Turtle.
I was like, what is that? It's a little cute little turtle, and he's going. And is that snow? Is it
Yes,
okay? It's
it's
snow
winter.
and a lone tree, and then it goes out into a grassy field. It looks like.
Yeah, field trees. I will also draw your attention to there's a sunrise happening and I tried to like capture the rays of sun coming through the trees.
Yep, I see it. I see it.
Okay. Yeah, and then a nice kind of pale blue sky.
And there's a lone tree in the foreground as well,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the little
standing
turtle at the bottom,
boldly against the snow.
and the turtle is, you can tell he's off on an adventure, and I can sense the inner strength in him because he's got a long journey to go.
Well, I mean, why would there be a turtle there?
Why would there be?
This is
It's
what I think.
winter.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Why would a turtle be on a road in winter?
Did somebody drop him off? They didn't want him as a pet anymore?
I don't know.
Oh. This just became very melancholy.
Maybe this turtle signed up to do a relay for life because one of its friends or family was impacted by cancer, and it, you know,
Yeah.
and
Wow, okay.
it decided to just keep on going. Maybe it's like the Forrest Gump of turtles.
Yeah,
yeah.
you go, little guy. Oh.
Or maybe it's the tortoise and the hare, and it took him so long to finish the race. Like it became winter in the course of running the race.
Now, it's a little
And-
hard to tell from the angle, but is he standing on his back two legs, Ninja Turtle style, or is he?
Nope, he's on all fours, walking away from
Okay.
the viewer.
It kind of looks like he's Ninja Turtle style, but that's that. But you know what? That it's all about interpretation.
That's
Mhm.
true. It's what I see, not what you drew.
And I am noticing purples in that snow, and I didn't notice it right away because it looked so real.
Yeah.
Sure. It's one thing about pastels is it's hard to do like detail.
Sure.
So I really struggled to make a turtle happen in the small frame of which I had like laid out my picture. We should mention also that all of these images that we're going to be talking about will be in the show notes for the episode. So if you want to see what we're talking about, just like open the episode, and underneath the episode itself will be all these linked images.
Yeah, so honestly, Travis, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, considering you're saying that you're the worst artist of all time, I'm saying this is it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I like the tree in particular, the one in the foreground here.
Yeah. It I was happy with how it turned out. Another thing that I experienced was like I would just be watching, a guy do a tutorial or whatever, and this is trees are one of those things that they would just like do like 4 little flicks of their wrist, and a tree would happen on the page, and I'm like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
It's like a magic trick.
I would honestly
So-
say like you attempted to do too much detail, because like I feel like if you did more of a suggestion of a tree, it would be slightly more believable, but you almost tried to do too much detail on there.
Sure.
It's kind of lends itself to that impressionistic look, I believe, is
Yeah.
the right term.
That's a lot of pastels are impressionistic because you just can't do like high detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right.
You have anything else you want to say about this, Travis?
Nope. That's pretty much it. I wanted to leave.
Oh,
Go ahead, Mike.
I had a question. Is there a title to this piece?
Yes. Purpose.
Nice. That's good.
That's
That's good. I feel that.
It's ambiguous as to what it means. It's art, I can't give you the answers. There are no answers.
All right.
Yes, that's great.
All right.
All right.
Next, I can go. Okay, so it was kind of hard for me to get a good picture of it because it's actually sort of large. But this is, I think, probably the best one I got. So, let me. It's hard to.
So let me try to describe. There is a wire sculpture of a mouse holding a knife or a small nail resembling a sword. It sort of looks like a mouse is doing battle with an angry cat, an evil cat. All in wire sculptures, and I would say very well done. The mouse in particular is really good.
Yeah, I like it. I like the so it's a giant evil cat face with red eyes that I don't know, what are those jelly beans? That's what
Cough
it looked
drops.
like.
Oh,
Ah,
Ludens. Yeah.
okay. And he's not actually holding a knife. It looks to be a club made of a Q-tip with a nail kind of driven through it.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay. he's he's facing down a cat that is significantly larger than him. In fact, I would say larger than a real cat to a real mouse in proportion, making it
They're
more imposing.
yeah, they're both slightly larger than the actual animal.
Yeah.
It's very, very Tom and Jerry sort of, except like the cat, if the cat were about to consume the mouse, but the mouse decided to do a last stand with an improvised weapon.
I think that's what's happening.
That's sort of yeah, you kind of nailed it. So I was trying to get like it's probably the best image of the cat. The cat was hard to get a good image of. That was what I was having trouble with.
Oh, it's quite big. I didn't
Yeah.
see that before.
So shall I describe it to you?
Yes.
Sure.
I mean, you guys basically nailed it on the head, but as you can kind of see, the cat sculpture has one very long wire that's holding the head, and then is rested on the shoulders, and then it's more of a suggestion of a cat arching its back, and then the tail is wrapped around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's looking down, laughing at this stupid mouse, but the mouse is kind of giving it like this, "What's up? Bring it on," kind of thing, and he's like, not even like, I
So you
mean,
did a good job in demonstrating inner strength plus outer strength,
yeah,
presumably.
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so what I originally was gonna do, I was gonna do cheesecake, looking at a mouse playfully, but then the mouse kind of like looking up at her. But I didn't think that would be as strong of a statement as a cat, so I changed it to a cat.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's more primal, if you
Yeah,
will.
It's more of a Joseph Campbell journey with the cat and the mouse.
and I did this all. I had the idea in my mind, and it sort of evolved, slightly, and then I had this big thing of wire already. I made it a point to grab things only from my house. So I grabbed a Q-tip, I grabbed the cough drops, and I grabbed that little nail, and then I had the wire, and then I just used wire. What do you call them? Pliers and stuff to shape it. It took quite a while, but I did it. I watched like three in the course of watching 3 movies. I put this together.
It's nice, man. I really like the mouse. The mouse is
Yeah, I
it's
think the
cool.
mouse is the best part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mouse is the focal point. The cat's more of just a suggestion of a cat. And I was also
Yeah.
thinking like I was gonna put a little face on the mouse, but I left it not a face so that anybody could put themselves in the place of the mouse, and then the cats
Mhm.
can more represent your inner demons.
Yeah.
It's all metaphor.
I was
Yeah.
getting that. Yeah, I was picking up
Mhm.
on that. Is there a name for this piece, Dan?
Yeah, it's
Defiance.
ooh, yeah, yep, yeah. Yep, that's it. Defiance. That's pretty good.
You're welcome. I'll take a 5% cut.
Excellent. Would it be cool if somebody actually wanted to buy these?
Yeah, these will all be for sale on our merch store on our website.
That's not true.
That's
I mean,
not
it
true.
doesn't currently exist.
We do have a website, I think. All right. My turn?
Yep.
All right. So I guess I'll just drop it out there. This one has a title. It is Squirrel Enduring.
Wow.
That's pretty solid.
So it's a pencil drawing of a what is it called?
Squirrel Enduring.
Enduring. It looks like a squirrel clutching the side of a tree, and it gives the impression of like a strong wind that it's pushing against and reaching out towards something.
It gives I mean, people get into like high art speak. This image genuinely imparts a feeling of like, I mean, reaching, but also like sort of longing.
Yeah.
Like the thing that the squirrel is reaching for is not in frame. You just see the squirrel.
Yeah.
You're left to interpret what he might be reaching for.
Reaching for or pushing against. You can't really. It could be either one.
So my description that I put together for this is a squirrel tenaciously reaching for his goals despite all adversity and impediments.
Yeah. And the look on his face, that is sheer determination, sheer determination.
Mm-hmm.
You're like the face and whiskers and stuff like that is phenomenal. The hands sort of look like it has Wolverine claws.
Yeah.
And like the one that he's reaching for. But that's, I mean,
I redrew that hand like maybe 10 times, and at some point I just said, "This is enough. This is the one."
Did you have a reference picture
I
that
did,
you
yeah.
were using? So like, I mean, is this pose, like, did you sort of copy this from a image of a squirrel?
Yeah. So I found a pose is basically in this pose. It's very similar to the picture.
Okay. That doesn't
I
cheapen
don't-
the art at all. I just was
I
curious.
don't have it anymore, but I could show you. It's very similar.
yeah,
I
that's
like
really
it.
good.
It looks pretty, I mean, it's fairly realistic.
Thank you.
I think it's pretty good, Mike. I mean, for
Yeah.
somebody who never draws, I think that's quite good.
Yeah, I like how it turned out. Yeah, like you were saying, as I was going through this, like trying to like I could kind of rough out the outlines, and then like worked on the head for a long time, and then like all right, I'm happy with this, but then like trying to make his body look good, like little furry animal is so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just didn't know what I was
Well,
doing.
I think that the face and the reaching hand are kind of the main where your eyes are drawn to, and I think those are pretty solid. And like
Mhm.
there's kind of a weird ethereal, like on the tips of the fingers, it could be a Wolverine, but it also kind of looks like it's like fading into the.
If you look at his ear, the original picture had like little fuzzy ears, and I was kind of did that, and then it turned out more wispy, and I indeed was trying to do that same thing on his fingers and a little bit on his whiskers as well.
Yeah.
So that was actually intentional.
Nice, nailed it.
So,
I'm pretty thoroughly impressed. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, good job, Mike.
thank you.
So how do we then decide?
I guess. Well, what was?
Let's refresh the criteria, I guess.
Yeah, I think our criteria was do the best art.
I think that was exactly what we said. Whoever does the best art.
Well, no, the prompt was
Okay. Yes. Okay. Good point. Because we had a prompt.
the most moving image demonstrating inner strength featuring a small animal.
Okay.
So they all feature a small animal.
They do indeed.
We all
got that.
They
Nailed
all
it.
feature,
All three of us.
or they all demonstrate inner strength. But the question
So then the question is,
which is the
most moving?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
If Travis, if you hadn't like described it with like running for its friend who had cancer, or like all of those things, like that sort of touched me a little bit when you were making those like suggestions.
I will say that I didn't make that up in the moment, and that was sort of my thought process in picking the scene and the animal.
Okay.
Like not necessarily the cancer thing, but like put it, the turtle exists. I mean, you don't see turtles moving around in winter, so if one was there and choosing to be there of its own volition, it would be doing that for a very good reason, or something that it felt very strongly about. It's sort of like, braving the elements, or it's on a quest for some virtuous purpose.
Yeah.
So
I think though, if I had just looked at these, like I had nobody explaining anything, just the images themselves, I feel like Mike's is there's the most emotion in Mike's image.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about these,
I
including
agree.
mine, even above mine.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do quite like. There's something about Travis's like the kind of it doesn't say a lot, but it does. Like there's something happen on. Like it would just be like a normal picture, but the fact that the turtle's there is kind of moving in some way.
Yeah,
I don't know. Um, Obviously, I like mine. I like Dan's. I enjoy Dan's. I think Dan's is the funnest one.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I don't know if moving is the right word to describe mine. Just comparing all these three,
yeah,
personally I like mine the best, but I don't think it's the most moving.
yeah. I think based on the criteria that we defined, Mike's is the most moving. He captures the expression of the squirrel in a way that makes you emote with the squirrel.
Yeah, like I can feel the
The longing,
the
maybe.
longing. Yeah,
Yeah.
the determination. He's reaching towards something, and it's very important, and he's willing to die for it. I can just see it in his face.
All right, I think you
Cool.
got it, Mike.
Yeah, I think for
Yeah.
sure. I think I'm yeah.
All right. That was I was very happy with my art, but I also really enjoy yours guys as well. I don't want to poo them. So, do we have any closing thoughts on this, I guess?
I think people should do art more. I had
I
a lot of
I
fun.
I did too. I'd like to do this more. I'd like to be better at it because I like the idea of because oftentimes I think I kind of think in pictures, and sometimes I think just a picture would express what I'm trying to say, but I don't have the ability to do that, and I think it would be cool to have that capability, have a picture in your head and then put it on into the meat space.
Yeah, that's something that I don't have at all. My brain doesn't work like that, and I'm very bad visually. So this was an interesting challenge to do as far as like sort of developing those skills, or at least understanding how other people's brains work as they think through these things. I would be open to doing additional like visual challenges down the road, but this I think improved my skills a little bit, but I think I still have a long way to go. This is just like not what like even in my picture, like I said, like it looks okay, but the meat of the picture is the you have to think about it in order to get anything out of it
I mean,
really.
that's you go to an art museum. That's how a good chunk of those art pieces are, especially like modern art.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
uh, some modern art are just like really simple shapes, but it's like the concept of the art and like the intention of the art is what makes it so special.
hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know if I like being compared to modern art.
Well, too bad.
It's
When
too
you
bad.
create something, then other people can talk about it and
That's
have
true.
opinions about it.
That's true. As soon as you put something out there, it's you no longer own the rights to have the solo opinion about it.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
uh, all right. How do you guys rate this? 1 to 10, as far as a self improvement thing. I think this is great. Honestly, I I I would put this maybe a. I'm gonna give it a 7 3/4.
I think it depends on the person. Like if this is something that you never do, I would say that this has the potential to like expand your mind. And like uh, if you're not an artistic person and have never made art, I would say this could be like a 9 for you. But like if something you do all the time, then it's like if you create stuff all the time, and I don't like a yeah like a 7.
I think if you're even if you are an artist, if you kind of branch into something new that you've never done, because I've never really done pencil sketches before, except for maybe high school, and I found I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I my initial reaction was a 5. There was benefit and it was valuable. I don't know that it improved me a lot. Like I think you're right, Dan, and that it comes down to the individual. If you want to do art, then this would be a really good one to do, obviously. I think for my purposes, it did give me a greater appreciation for like how difficult art is. I already knew that I was bad at it, but like just seeing, I don't know, the amazing things that people can do with seemingly little effort, but it gave me a greater appreciation for how much actual effort or at least thought goes into making things that look decent. So I got that value from it, but I mean maybe a 6 for me. I don't know. I'm the top end for benefit for me wasn't that high. Now presenting Picatso, Mike Collins.
Hey, thanks, Travis. Thanks, Dan. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Yeah, this is a cool thing to try. If you're the sort of person that doesn't art, I believe it's probably worth giving it a shot because you never know what's going to strike you and kind of become a thing that you enjoy. So, like everything that we do on this crazy podcast, I think, taking a shot at something you've never done before is always worth doing, and I think art is a good place to start.
You did great. Next time on Perpetual Incompetence.
No, this is where it was meant to lead, Dan.
All of that work led to this.
Our whole lives have led to this moment.
This is where it all is brought us to.
Also, next time on Perpetual Incompetence.
We should challenge ourselves to go for a run every day.